This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the Foster.
We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a car, for Christ's sake.
No, my name is Peter.
Yeah, I want.
Here's good.
Yeah.
Madam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on.
He likes it.
It's showtime.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
That's right. Too many buttons and not enough fingers. I practice too. Wednesday. How the hell is everybody? Hope everybody's doing well, as always. I always wish the best for everybody. A lot to talk about again tonight. You know, I really wanted to move on and talk about some other serious issues that are going on, as I chose to take this whole month and just bring awareness, bring the aware to the awareness of all the crap going on around us, because we all live in fast-moving bubbles, and it's hard to sometimes, see between the trees and see what's going on. But man, oh man, you guys keep pulling me back in. I'm glad. All through the week, thousands of comments about this whole Maui thing. And you should stay interested in it, because I'm telling you, the only way to fight this whole thing and get down to the real deal and stop this kind of stuff is by letting them know that we know. They do not want attention. Attention is going to blow the whole deal. They're preying on you getting busy with life as they keep on throwing a million curveballs to get you looking at different things and moving on. The only way all this crap can all this stuff can happen successfully for them is if you quit paying attention. And they're banking on that. But I know there's a lot of people that are paying attention, and the fact that you're talking about it, everybody's writing me, what can I do? What can I do? Just keep paying attention and keep talking about it. That's a big one, because they do not want the attention. The attention is drawing too much attention to them. But anyway, thank you. Thank you. So tonight, I'm going to once again talk about this stuff going on in Maui. Now we're a month plus into those fires, and a little bit of catch up of where are we now. But still, the theories are going around, and again, I'm getting called all kinds of names, and everybody's got their reasons for believing what they believe. That's fine. That is fine. But I'm just throwing it out there by what is given to me to let you understand that sometimes the most craziest stuff is real, and they won't hesitate for a second to do it. It's like a movie, but this is how it all works, and it's sad, but true. But anyway, so that's what we're talking about tonight. What's going on right now with Maui? And if I can, I'm going to try to take one or two phone calls later on in the show from you, the people. So get your pencil ready for that phone number. It's going to be first come, first serve. I don't have a phone screener. You have to have money to do that kind of stuff. Hi, my name is Peter. But we're doing. Where we at? Next week. I do plan ahead, though. I want to tell you real quick that being that I want to cover a bunch of other things, I am next week, hell or high water, going to cover the border. I don't know if you people are paying attention to what's going on over there, but this weekend alone, over 9,000 people a day are just, it looks like a parade concert, just droves of people just coming across, just 30 wide and miles of them, just a herd. We're in big trouble. We're in big trouble. If you're not feeling it yet, you're going to. It's all gonna, it's a ripple effect. So next week, I am talking about that next week. I got to talk about that because this is the mainland, even worse, and we're getting flooded. And if you don't think it's going to be as bad eventually as any, natural. This is kind of a natural disaster. It is, because we're going to feel it. We are going to feel it one way or another. Hello, starting to get a little comment here and there. Feel free to comment if you're on the official Peter G Show live page on Facebook. If you're on the YouTube Facebook page, not Facebook. If you're on LinkedIn, you can comment whether if you're on the live LinkedIn show page, if you're on the show page for YouTube, or if you're on the official Peter G Show page, you can comment live. Believe me, I get all kinds, good and bad. I'll try to read what I can. Last week they were scrolling so fast I couldn't keep up, which is cool. I eventually, try to sift through them, but it's hard. But try to comment. I mean, I do take this seriously, and I know you do too. Because the other couple of Facebook pages, if you're commenting, I cannot see it. So please go on the official Peter G Show page. I guess that's the point I wanted to make. So next week, I don't know why I keep saying next month. No hurry to get to next month. This month is already flying by. Dish out the truth. I wish I could tell you it's the truth, but no matter what I say, somebody's going to say that's baloney. I'm just putting out things that sound worth putting out. Whether you want to call it truth or if not, that's up to you. I mean, again, everybody's got different opinions, and believe me, I hear them. Especially the haters. They can't help it. They go straight to the point. Name calling, you name it. Thank you, first time hearing me, Ricky. I hope I serve you well. Again, most people are complaining that they're expecting a news show. This is not a news forecast. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Peter G, and this is the news. I do a 1 hour plus format show. Things go in segments. It gets stretched out. If you're wanting me to just get to the point so you can go eat dinner or something like that, I can't do it. If you watch enough of my shows, and there's over 300 of them, go check out some of the older shows. I have all kinds of people dealing with alcoholism, narcissism, single parenting, supporting people going through losing family, deaths, all kinds of stuff, sharing stories that people need. Whether you need it or not, it's another, everybody's different. But this is what I do. So I hope that in turn, you're watching me, you'll get used to me and going, well, this is what this guy does. And, I don't mind it. Or, nah, I don't have time for this guy. I can take it. It's all good. I don't have time for a lot of stuff. Life is busy. I totally get it. But this is what I do. And I found that people make time and spend money where they want to spend it and make the time. That's a fact. So if you want to, and if you don't have time to sit and watch the show, Google Peter G Show podcast. Put an earbud in your ear. You can take the show on the road with you while you're at work. I mean, while you're driving, you can listen to the show. I try to make it with, the thought that people are listening to the show on the podcast as well. So, even though I'm going to be showing some videos and things like that, it's not that bad. It still translates very well. The message is there. And the one thing about these shows I try to, whether you think so or not, have a message. And the biggest one is you're not alone when we're talking about things that you can relate to. It's not just you. That's why I have so many different types of shows. We even do funny stuff. I mean, I like goofing around. But right now, this month, it's not really a laughing matter. So I haven't, that I'm taking the funny out of the equation. But that's what we do here, okay? So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube, please. They still, they're working hard to not let me be seen. The only way I can be seen is if you share, subscribe, and keep putting it out there. That's how it works. And then one day we'll be on mainstream somewhere. Promise you, because I'm not backing down. But anyway, that's that. All right, here's what's going to happen. I need to go real quick. We need to hear from where are they? From my good friends over at Clean Start Products with their money-saving fuel additive DX1 driver that saves you money and gas. And we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Tyrone Thompson of CleanStarProducts.com. This is DX1 Driver in the news, and here's what our friends have to say.
So I'm here to recap on the DX1 I've used. I put it in the oil and I put it in the gas. While I'm using it just for about 3 tanks. Cleaned everything out. I got every ounce of power back in my truck.
When Jared's truck was new, it had a lot of power. Then over time, it began to slow down. He got it all back with our DX1 Driver program.
Something you got to see for yourself. It's a great product. It's affordable. And it blows all the other additives and esters out of the water.
DX1 Driver is the finest oil in the world from a California environmental company. It goes into the fuel system and the oil. It's the only green grade product qualified for the carbon credits program, giving you better fuel mileage, lower emissions, and increased horsepower. So join the fuel savings revolution today. Go to CleanStarProducts.com/shop.
That's right, folks. Clean Star Products with their DX1 Driver. All I can say is they have a product that works. It's a little bitty bottle right here. Put it into a clean oil change, lasts the whole oil change. And every time you fill up your tank, you put one of these little bottles into your tank, and voila. Improve gas mileage, cleaner emissions, more horsepower. Take care of your body, and your body will take care of you. Same thing with your car. Let's face it, gas is a fortune. It's $6 a gallon here in California. For those of you who don't live in the area, that hurts. Cars are expensive too. You know, you want them to last unless you got money to burn. But Clean Star Products, it's an environmentally friendly product too. And if it can pass California emissions, it can pass anything. If you want more information, go to CleanStarProducts.com. They will talk to you. Tell them the Peter G Show sent you, though. Please. I want them to know that I'm actually doing something because these guys know what I do and they still sponsor me. So amen. All right, let's gear up. You ready? Woo! Smooth. Put some pep in your step right there. All right. I have a couple of videos. Tonight's not going to be full of videos because I want to see if I can get to a few phone calls. But I just wanted to do a little bit of catching up, and people are sending me a ton of stuff, and a lot of it's media, you know, lukewarm water stuff. And my question is, where's the real stuff? And that's what everybody keeps asking me. You know, we want the truth. It's like, define the truth. Find the people and then verifying and who do you believe? And how do you know that they're not just saying this stuff, you know, because they're trying to throw a curve, which happens a lot nowadays. But I do have a few videos. And this one's the aftermath of the fires. Again, we're talking about the Maui fires right now. I still believe that they were not accidental. I don't believe that they happened by electrical wires, but that's just my opinion. And you can, and I got a lot of people that wrote in, they go, you know, I'm a rancher and I've seen, you know, fires and they burn ferociously. I get it. I live in California. We had fires in 2019 burning almost up to my property. I get it. I know embers can travel a long distance and still ignite things. My problem is, how does things ignite when there's nothing to fuel it by? There's a lot of weird questions. I don't doubt that it was windy as hell. You know, it was 80-mile-an-hour winds. I get it. The perfect storm. But there's too many things that don't add up that we just keep, you know, not talking about. And you have to look at all the facts, not just, you know, yeah, fires can rage and they do get hot and, you know, glass does melt and, you know, I get all kinds. And cars are made out of plastic nowadays, so more stuff melts. I hear you. A lot of stuff that still doesn't add up, and I'm sorry. And, you know, that's why we just keep bringing it up, because I question everything. I went to my doctor yesterday. I still question him. Just because he's my doctor doesn't mean I believe everything. He knows what he knows, and nowadays doctors aren't doing their doctor stuff as much. They're pushing, you know, they're under pressure. They get to see a patient for 10 minutes. That's it. Boom. Got to go. Next, the insurances. All right. Whole nother show again. I get fired up, see, but you'll get used to me, or not. So we're going to see a quick little video here on what's going on now with the aftermath of the Maui fires, because again, they have curtained it all off. You can't see in. They're not allowing people to even stop by the side of the road. There's security all over the place. I mean, this is a little island that The fires happened on a sleepy side of the island. It's not even like it's in the main tourist section where you got a lot of people roaming around, newbies and all that. This isn't in Houston or Atlanta, you know. It's just a lot of things don't add up. This is something they've never done before. I mean, they don't want you seeing in there. They've even canceled. I don't know how they do it, but they're not allowing drones to fly over. I don't know whether they just do something with the airwaves to make radio frequencies not happen. I don't know how they're doing it, but everything is shut down. And the media, they have nothing worth saying. But here's one video. Check this out, and I'll be right back.
1 month has passed since the fire, and have any of you seen video of a parent or of those who've lost their family?
Nope, not one.
I'm here at the Ukumehame gun range where the U.S. EPA is starting to bring hazardous waste from the Lahaina burn zone here.
And it's so toxic that they would let you be in that area, in that zone, without a hazmat suit on reporting. Sure.
It's coming in from trucks and then put into these 55-gallon drums.
And where are their hazmat suits? And wow, those barrels are awfully light.
Blue 55-gallon drums being moved. Nothing to see here, right? Let's not forget when the EPA told us that Roundup was less toxic than coffee. Let's also remember that the same chemicals that spilled during the train derailments are the same ones now being found in Maui.
Do you remember when similar fires happened in California? Were they removing everything in 55-gallon drums then?
Volunteers are now helping to go through the remains of victims' property.
Volunteers are from an organization called Samaritan's Purse, a relief organization that's part of the Billy Graham Ministries. They're literally sifting through handfuls of ash where the owners believe some kind of precious item can be found.
So let me get this straight. The people whose family want to go through the things can't go through them, but total, complete strangers are allowed to sift through their stuff.
She makes some valid points. Now, I believe that whoever was carrying those blue plastic drums, it was an empty drum. They were loading them onto trucks maybe to bring them somewhere else. But how do you load a whole town into 55-gallon barrel drums? It doesn't make any sense. You'd have to have 9 million barrels. I don't buy it. And she's right about, if it's so hazardous. But again, all show. That's all they show, and that's it. And you can't verify it because there's nobody verifying anything. My question is it's like, where's the whole town? Where are the survivors? There's got to be some survivors that were in that stuff when it was roaring, who managed to live. They couldn't have killed them all off. But yeah, I can't find anybody with any credibility. I mean, there should be, it's not just one. There's got to be plenty. There's got to be. But this is what we're dealing with. We have no information, and the information that I'm getting is so fantastic sounding that you're not going to believe it. You're saying that can't happen. Marines and ex-Marines and Navy SEALs going in and doing things because there's a lot of bad going on that you can't see. That sounds like incredible, just, unbelievable. No way. I've heard nothing. You're never going to hear stuff like that. They're never going to let you, not if they can help it. But again, this is what I'm bringing to you just to keep in your mind. You can say, it's all baloney, all you want, but what can I say? I'm just giving you what's, and it's not coming from just one source. I'm seeing it from people from all walks of life, bringing me kind of the same stuff. So I just keep it in the back of my mind because I believe there's big possibilities that there's a lot of monkey business going on. But again, if you think it was just a normal fire and it was just a tragedy, God bless you, and I understand that. Let's go here. There's somebody's going to be talking about the cordoning everything off and not letting you see in. So let's move on. Here we go.
There seems to be a huge emphasis on ensuring that the media and anyone else can't see what's going on here in Lahaina, West Maui. There are miles and miles of this black fence going up that was not here before, that is obscuring ground zero and making sure no one can see what's going on inside of there from the road. No one can get in there. No one can take any pictures. And then I've also seen these weird foreign police cars showing up, these special police, I'm not sure what to call them. This is a Nissan, but there's quite a large presence of these standing guard around the perimeter. We've also lost our ability to fly drones really anywhere near this area. Now, this 20-second clip here that I tried to get out of my car and show what was going on, I was almost immediately, after these 20 seconds, National Guard came, chased me off, yelled at me, told me to get back in my car and keep moving. So you cannot pull over. You can't even stop your car anywhere near any of this anymore. Now, I'm going to show you a fairly long clip that shows just how extensive the fencing is on the western side of the main highway here. And there also is National Guard, regular police, and what I have dubbed special police, which are these police cars that are foreign made. The people that are driving them they don't look like any police I've ever seen in the United States, so kind of a bizarre situation, but they have a huge presence standing guard, ensuring that nothing can be documented. You can't stop your car, you can't pull over, you can't fly a drone, you can't take a picture, you can't get in anywhere near any of this, which is part of what makes the footage that I have so unique. Now, I always make sure to point out that the footage that I have has been uploaded to the mainland to multiple people. They have the credentials to my social media, so if anything does happen to me, it's not going to prevent the story getting out. But the footage I have both on the ground and drone, but particularly on the ground, is not going to be able to be reproduced with the amount of resources they have put into locking this area down. Now, I am working on another video now that's going to show side by side this same drive a week ago, so you guys can compare what it's like now, and you can see just the amount of fencing, rocks, police, barricades, all of the effort they are putting into this. They are putting a lot of energy into it, which is kind of interesting. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on it. Now, I also want to point out that the reason I've been able to keep cranking out these videos and somewhat neglecting my normal job, my income from my normal job pretty much went away weeks ago when I started all this. The reason I've been able to do that is because I recently put my Zelle in the bio of TikTok, X, and YouTube, and I've had a handful of everyday people making small donations via Zelle, and that has made a huge difference with allowing me to neglect my normal job. And I love my normal job, but if I can focus right now on resisting the attack on freedom and resisting the attack on the First Amendment and getting as much of this information out to you guys as quickly as possible, that is absolutely what I want to do, and that is absolutely what I will do. So thank you so much to everybody who has supported me in that way. You're making a big difference, so thank you for that. And also to all of the people who have kept this story alive by subscribing, by following, by liking, by sharing, by commenting. All of these things have a big impact on the algorithms. So you guys are the reason why this has so much visibility. So thank you so much for that as well. Now, here in these clips, you can see the presence of police, including these, what I've dubbed the special police, and you can see all these guys standing guard on the perimeter. And this is not even really the perimeter. This is quite far away from what burned and from ground zero. So apparently they are concerned that somebody will park or stop their car on the side of the road here and go hiking for miles into this area that's just ashes and rubble. So it's very interesting the amount of effort they're putting into this. Anyway, guys, there's a lot more to come. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned.
Support them. These people are doing this, trying to make a living too, I guess. And it all, time is money. I don't understand either. It makes you go, why the secrecy? Everything is like, why are they cutting off information? People need information. And even if they're not even throwing out bad information, they're just not saying anything. They want you to just forget about this and let them go about their business. The fence. Somebody made a comment. How much does that fence cost? How'd they happen to just have all that? I mean, I'm sure they can fly things in pretty quick, but why black everything out? I mean, why all the security? It's like, are they afraid of looting? There's nothing there. Again, this is a small, quiet side of the island. This isn't New York City, Manhattan, where, a million people there and gangs and people are going to just ravage the businesses and stuff like that. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Doesn't. Baloney excuses, and what little the information they give, I'm not buying it. It just doesn't make sense. Let's see what we got here real quick. I can't read everything. The news is saying nothing, and we're giving billions to other countries. I know. I'm going to get into all that other, all our money going out to other countries as well. Not tonight. Again, there's so much stuff to talk about. That's the problem. It drives me crazy. I can't get enough at it. And, it's a once a week show. It's not a nightly show, so I can't do it. But I will. I talk about this stuff all the time. Keep tuning in or watch past shows. Most of the time when I'm by myself and I don't have a guest on the show, that's when you hear me bitching about all this stuff. I bitch about everything because it needs to be talked about. That's the problem. Everything is getting swept under the rug. They bank on this. So I do talk about all this stuff because it hurts. I live here. So do you. We can't take care of our own country. We're taking care of everybody else. The migrants that come in over the border, and I'm going to talk about this next week, they get $2,200 a month. People on Social Security don't even get that much. They're getting about $2,200 per person coming over the border a month. Don't make sense. Just doesn't make sense. We have to put a stop. The only way we put a stop is when people say we've had enough. We need that money for us, me first. Then take care of other people. You can't take care of other people unless you're, strong enough to take care of yourself first. But the country doesn't care about us, our government. I'm rolling off the topic, but you get the point. I'll be on that point next week too. I hope you join me. The border's bugging the hell out of me. The cartels, everybody's telling everybody to come on over. They're making a killing financially. Sex, drugs. It's horrible. Anyway, all right, let's get back to this video is a little lengthy, and but it's got a lot of points, and I want you to where are we at here? I want you to please just check out all this stuff. Before we start, the first little segment of this clip, there's going to be a preacher talking about they're over there in Maui. They're asking everybody in Maui to give DNA samples so they can identify bodies or what's left. I don't even believe that that's the case of everybody giving their DNA, because you cannot identify through DNA charred remains. There has to be living tissue of some sort. You can't do it. That's why after you get cremated, it's like, oh wow, you wanted to do more testing? Can't. We cremated them. Everybody was incinerated. Most everybody. I mean, they're not saying anything. So giving DNA is just about useless. But again, they're not saying anything. People were cooked from the inside out. And there's a reason behind that, whether you want to believe it or not. But we'll get into that a little bit in here. But so check out this this video. It's like I said, it's a little lengthy, but it's got a lot of different, I think, significant pieces to consider. Okay, so here we go. There's something being covered up. Check this out.
You won't believe it. You just will not believe what I'm going to present to you in today's video. When I discovered it, my jaw dropped, and to be honest, I'm still in disbelief. So whatever you do, turn off all distractions and watch every second of this video, because what you're going to see in here is going to leave you in absolute disbelief. You ready? Let's go.
It's not being reported right now in the news, but on a neighboring island of Lanai, they found 183 bodies washed ashore there. There's 800 as of today reported missing. There are many hundreds that are being refrigerated right now, trying to get ID. They're asking people on the island to provide their DNA so they can match DNA to others. Outside the media, they're expecting this to reach almost 2,000 people in death toll. This is right up there among the worst, if not the worst, since us becoming a nation as fires go. 85 Paradise, and that was considered the worst?
That was Pastor Jack Hibbs revealing shocking information that we don't hear on mainstream media regarding the terrible situation with the Maui fire. What is being reported on mainstream media is this.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency, the team that's supposed to be digging through the ashes and delivering aid, has turned the tragedy into a junket. FEMA booked themselves into 5-star luxury Hawaiian resorts. They're shacking up at the Maui Four Seasons, beachfront of course. Rooms there are $1,000 a night. It's not just the Four Seasons. FEMA agents are also posting up at the Fairmont Kea Lani in Maui, where rooms range there from $1,300 to $4,500 a night. FEMA agents are also crashing at the Grand Wailea Astoria, 5 stars of course. Are these the hotels Biden's FEMA officials should be staying in, gallivanting around in and drinking in, as search and rescue operations are underway with 500 kids still missing? Now, FEMA has confirmed that they're staying at these hotels. Biden's giving Maui fire victims $700, while his FEMA officials sleep at luxury resorts that cost more than that per night. FEMA officials could stay at the Days Inn, where you could get an oceanfront view for $250 a night. We confirmed it. Rooms are still available there. Now, when did FEMA develop this taste for the finer things in life? Because FEMA's administrator, Deanne Criswell, is complaining that they don't have enough money.
We're watching our disaster relief fund very closely. Our estimates do still stay that we may have a depletion of our fund now. I mean, this is a day-by-day monitoring of the situation. We will start to move some of our recovery projects and delay them until the next fiscal year.
Whoa, FEMA has a $25 billion budget.
Please make it make sense. Maui fire victims get $700 total to rebuild their lives. Meanwhile, FEMA officials get $1,300 per night in rooms at the Four Seasons, Fairmont Kea Lani, and the Grand Wailea in Maui.
Nobody in Hawaii that's went through this tragedy should be worried about where they're staying. The President of the United States should have a gold card. He should be able to walk into a hotel and plop it down on the counter and go, how many rooms do you have tonight? Oh, and we need more rooms. Then you go over to the concierge and you go, hey, in case you don't know me, I'm the President of the United States. And do me a favor, call around town and let's get everybody that needs a hotel room. And then you take these poor people who need help and you put them in a hotel room. If we can do it for people that break into our country, we can do it for people that are in need. This shouldn't be hard to do, and this should happen it should be instant. It should be the same day. Nobody should worry about that they have nowhere to go. Not in America. This is disgusting.
If you think that's the big news for today, well, I have information that, like I said, you won't believe. We've talked all week about Maui Police Chief John Pelletier. He's the guy who was in charge of the 2017 Las Vegas shooting that, to this day, still remains a mystery. Pelletier is the same dude who, on a previous video, we found out received a pay raise only 50 days after he started the job. $205,000 per year, which was a 29% raise. That was even more than he asked for. Okay, so we know who we're talking about, right? Now get this. The Maui police chief with the dark trail of controversy and bad luck around him is also the Maui coroner.
I gotta tell you, I met with them. I'm also the coroner, for those that don't know that.
How convenient. Oh, but it gets worse. HB 869 was a bill that passed on January 23rd of this year, just 1 month after Josh Green took office. But what does HB 869 say? What does it do? Well, the very first section, Section 1, states, the legislature finds that coroners should be separate from law enforcement and free to make independent judgments when investigating deaths. Wow, just wow. It also says, under current state law, the chief of police for a county serves as the coroner if the county does not have a medical examiner. Making coroners independent from law enforcement will promote transparency, avoid conflicts of interest, and encourage more confidence in coroners' rulings. Remember, Maui Police Chief John Pelletier told reporters that the fire had melted metal, making the remains extremely difficult to identify.
When we find these, our family and our friends, the remains we're finding is through a fire that melted metal. We have to do rapid DNA to identify them.
With Pelletier both being in charge of the police department and in power of the investigations of the deaths, there certainly seems to be a sinister conflict of interest here. He knows exactly how many children are missing. After all, we're talking about families living in a small 5.7 square mile area. He can certainly figure out how many children were living in each home. Matt Wallace tweeted, "What are the chances that the same guy would be chief of police in two completely different states for both the deadliest mass shooting in US history, Vegas shooting, and also the deadliest wildfire, Maui fires, in over 100 years in the US, with nearly 500 FEMA personnel on the ground in Maui, along with 270 Red Cross workers, 400 Hawaiian National Guard members, and close to 200 US Army reservists. There is no way that they are still not aware of the numbers. No way." Will Kane provided his explanation as to the missing children reports, or lack thereof.
Lead to me. And this is what I've been told. The number's going to be way higher. All of those guys said that reluctantly to me. They didn't want to put numbers on it. They saw many, many bodies. Now, I want you to know that as well when I tell you this. There were a lot of children that were sent home from school that day. We need to find out what happened to all those kids. I will say, in all of my days over there this past week, having talked to a lot of people, you don't hear people saying, "I still can't find this person," or "I still can't find that person." There's not a great outcry of a missing child or a missing cousin. That does exist, but I'm just telling you, if the numbers are in the 500 to 1,000, I would have thought I would have heard that more. So that does leave me with one last potentiality, which is entire families are gone. Entire groups of people who could not escape, and no one left to say, "Where is my cousin? Where is my uncle? Where is my child?" I do think, and I am concerned, it's going to be a story that gets worse before it ever looks better. It's tragic.
Independent reporter Nick Sorter posted a very disturbing video along with his tweet that said, "Maui police headlock me for asking the mayor about missing children. Mayor Bisson knows the answer, but he's hiding it. The mainstream media have been refusing to press the mayor on this, so residents and I started pressing him hard for the past several days. He's been demonizing and attempting to discredit me ever since. Regardless, we've been able to really blow the lid off this story. This is a cover-up. Children were burned alive. I've even heard horrific first-hand accounts from locals that found baby bones in car seats and bones of a young boy laying on top of his dog to protect it from the inferno. The 4 schools in Lahaina served over 3,000 students. Only 400 have enrolled in other schools. Another 200 are doing virtual learning. Where are the children, Mr. Mayor?
So we're not going to ask that question. How many of these 10 cadavers are
the Maui department, okay? The press show is over.
Yeah. So he's not going to answer my question.
Press conference. Thank you.
Yeah, take pictures of me.
There's no need for hacking.
You're with Maui Police, right?
Yeah, he's done with the press conference.
I appreciate your patience, sir.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. Who are you?
With the Maui Police Department.
Okay, and what's my crime? You're literally pushing me.
The press conference is
over.
I
don't f***ing care if the press conference is over. Get out of the way. I'm sorry. All right, so sir, 110 cadavers, but we can't identify. We can't identify how many of them are children. This is get out of my fucking dude. Get off my throat.
Relax, sir. Relax.
No, I'm not gonna get.
Relax.
No, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'm not gonna relax, dude. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm trying to ask a question, and we can't get the answer for it. How many of the 110 dead are children? You know who are children. They're cadavers. You have the bodies. You know how many of them are children. How many children are dead?
Step back, please.
How many children are dead, Mayor?
There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense. You know what the biggest, easiest thing is that people don't, I don't know if you've realized it or not, you may. There's a lot of smart people here watching, but there's a lot of people who are in denial. And I find that when you know the truth, if you have to tell the truth, it's really easy to talk. When I'm checking a credit card or something like that, it's like, please enter your 4 digits of your last, of your social security. It's like, boop, 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 boop. Please enter this and that. You know it. When you don't know it, you hesitate because you don't know it. If you're trying to flub something or fake something. It's not as smooth. If you have the truth, if it's that simple, it flows real easy. The fact that they don't say something, they're not saying nothing, they're not doing it to protect you. That's for sure. They're not doing it to protect you. They're doing it to protect them. Something's not right. When that so-called chief of police is saying we need rapid DNA because people were, burning fires that melted metal, how the hell are you going to get DNA from people who were in cars that melted metal? You're not. I think they're getting DNA to see who's left that has interests in that area. Nothing adds up. It's just not right. I mean, let's forget about, tonight I'm not even talking about how the fire started, which I get a lot of controversy. I talked to a friend of mine, he's in Poland, and he's a targeted individual, or claims to be, and he's really into the deep state and all that kind of stuff. He's ex-military, and he's heavy into all that, debunking all this stuff. The minute I said, hey, have you been paying attention? I haven't spoken to this guy in a year. He's going to be on the show next month. The minute I said, have you checked on been keeping up with what's going on in Maui or anything like that, like the fires? He goes, oh, you mean the direct energy weapon fires? He straight goes to that. But then again, you get a lot of people that go, that's friggin', Star Trek baloney. Never. There's just, you either take it or you don't. But people just don't want to believe. And now they want DNA. There's just too much that does not add up. And I'm sorry, it just doesn't, I'm asking, how do you think they're handling this situation after all that, the aftermath? It's not leading you to feel warm and fuzzy like they're really doing it, in your favor, in the people on the island. And again, I've got people that have emailed me, a handful, wanting to come on this show, stating that they are there. They've lived there their whole lives and this and that. I haven't had time to verify. I don't want to just bring anybody on the show. So down the road, I probably will. But right now, I'm just throwing things. People are sending me stuff. I look at it. I go, yeah, okay. It doesn't sound too far-fetched. Although to some people, I'm a friggin' idiot. And that's all just propaganda and all that. Again, you can't decipher what is propaganda anymore. But you're not going to tell me that these, direct energy weapons, they don't exist. They do. And they've pretty much got it down nowadays. They just don't flaunt it. Too many things. The minute I mentioned, I said, there's possible lithium over there in Maui. He says, well, volcanic, places have lithium right away. And this is what I've been hearing every time I mention it. He goes, why do you think, he says, Oprah bought all that mountainous property? I don't know. But it does seem funny that she bought thousands of acres back in March that you really can't build on. But anyway, what do I know? Again, the truth is easy to say. If they had something that was convincing, they would say it and you would feel it, but they don't. And being silent is definitely not making them look too much, better. One last video. This is more FEMA, which I don't even believe that these people went in claiming they're FEMA, but I don't believe they're FEMA. And if it is FEMA, they are. It's not. It's more militant than anything else. But check this out, and then I got something I want to read to you guys that somebody sent me. All right, I'll be right back.
You won't believe it. You just.
Oops. Hey, yes, I will, because I can't see what the hell I'm doing. Oh, here we go. My apologies.
You won't believe it.
Butterfingers.
So yesterday I put up a video on the arrest of Eric Hooks, which is the FEMA deputy administrator. And I was getting trolled yesterday by a guy, which I think it's a Democrat, saying that he was reading up on this and it's satire news, and he just kept commenting. I kept erasing it, he kept trolling me, and I just basically gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I erased the video, and I wanted to look further into this to see if it was true, because there's not much reports out there about this situation. But then I bump into this one. Was Eric Hooks arrested? Yes, Eric Hooks was reportedly arrested on Saturday, August 19, 2023. Blah, 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 as you can read right there. And you can read right there also. Then on a separate page, I read this entire report right here. The United States Marines on Saturday arrested Deputy Administrator of FEMA Eric Hooks on charges of treason, alleging in a 34-page indictment that Hooks and his boss Deanne Criswell ordered agents in Maui to deny fire victims food and water, to inhibit civilian relief efforts, to stop by any means necessary displaced person from exiting fire-ravaged Lahaina, and to those dispose of bodies as discriminately as possible. A source in General Eric M. Smith's office told Real Raw News. The arrest occurred Saturday night at Hook's home in Arlington, Virginia, not far from FEMA's D.C. headquarters. The Marines cuffed Hooks while he was sleeping, showed him a military arrest warrant, listed the charges against him, and carted him off to a holding center for processing. A centerpiece of evidence, our source said, is a typewritten memo bearing Hooks and Criswell's signature. In the text encourages FEMA supervisor in Maui to either incinerate or discreetly bury the dead. The memo's sinister language, entomb them deep, is emblematic of FEMA's wanton disregard for human life. Although no part of the letter specifically tells FEMA in Maui to execute civilians, Marines on the scene have reportedly found 250 bullet-filled corpses whose wounds are consistent with small arms used by FEMA and the FBI. Our sources said mass grave sites near Lahaina proved the FEMA personnel were following Hooks and Criswell's instructions. As reported Saturday, Marines caught FEMA operatives piling corpses into a mass grave site in the Maui Forest Reserve. More disturbing, the letter was dated August 5th, 3 days before the August 8th fire began, meaning FEMA is either clairvoyant or had foreknowledge of a premature crime. Moreover, FEMA moved 850 DC agents to Honolulu on August 6th. And then it ends with this. Our source said that additional evidence against Hooks will be available at his military tribunal. So there aren't a lot of reports of all the shady things that are going on in Maui right now. As everyone is aware, they're not letting absolutely anybody in Maui. No reporters and no type of help. I try to go into the military websites, the Navy, the Marine Corps, and so on, to try to look for their, people who were arrested. And I seem to not be able to track anything down. But we do know that a lot of things are being kept a secret. And I don't even put it past them to actually do some kind of crazy thing like this. Because as you've already seen, the person in the White House is putting Ukraine and Afghan terrorists before America. And he's supposed to be our president. If this is the case, Americans definitely need to stand up. We cannot allow this to continue happening because obviously politicians are not doing absolutely nothing but lining up their pockets. And the Republican politicians are showing us that they're all talk. If military finally made a move like this, military needs to step into the White House and make the same move with every single person at the White House. And then step into the Senate and the House and do exactly the same thing. Arrest every single Democrat for treason and for putting foreign countries before America. And there's a lot of other things that they can charge them with that I can't even mention here on TikTok because you already know what happens. I also want to say that FEMA went on the news with a $25 billion budget that they were supposed to have, and now they're saying that they no longer have that budget. They're running low on funds, and that they need the White House to go ahead and send them more money. So as it turns out, the corruption wasn't only at the White House. The corruption wasn't only at the Senate and at the House, or with the FBI, DOJ, and CIA. The corruption is going as far as FEMA. If this here isn't enough evidence, if this right here is not enough evidence for martial law to kick in, then we are fucked.
He's got a point. Can you imagine if this is true? Because I've heard this, what went on from many different sources. We don't hear it. And that's why people go, that's crazy. I've heard nothing about it. Can you imagine if you survived all those flames and fires and all of a sudden you're trying to get through it, and then these people come in and you think they're here to help you? And they go, yeah, come on. And you go, thank God we're saved. And then they're basically led into the gas chambers like Auschwitz, or shot, killed, whatever, and then buried it deep, nobody to find. And then what happened to them? Well, they perished in the fire. Who knows? That's what's presumed. Don't think that kind of stuff doesn't happen. It's happened in the past, and it's still going to happen. Happens in different countries, genocides, all that kind of stuff. You don't think our own country. That's the hardest pill to swallow because we're the United States of America. Greed overrules, people. FEMA. Anybody could have. They could have had people put on FEMA jackets and go in there. They go, you guys are going in there first to eliminate any witnesses before we send in other people. Again, you can call me crazy. All I know is there's no answers. Someday, I hope, again, by talking about it and never letting this die down, they won't be able to get away with their further plans. And maybe we'll be able to get to the truth about what happened, and people will pay that. Will have to answer for this, or lots of people. I hope. You got to start somewhere. Wiped out. It's just not right. I mean, think about it. The mayor's not answering. The governor over there is not answering. The chief of police went from the biggest shooting in Las Vegas and in the United States, and all of a sudden he's the chief of police of Maui, and he's the coroner too. So what he says goes. That nobody can see. There's no witnesses. And then we got our president, if you want to call him that. It ain't right. And this can happen. They can, so I've been getting some comments, about talking about other incidences, in Ohio and all that kind of stuff. Paradise, California, those fires, all that stuff. I didn't pay attention to it then, but it all kind of has the same MO and not just fires. People were saying, why are all the car doors are closed in the cars and people incinerated inside their cars? Why didn't they try to run if they were blocked in car jams and things like that? A lot of things don't make sense, but I'm just throwing it out there. Again, you want to go with the name calling, which a lot of the naysayers do, go right ahead, but I won't throw it back in your face if I was right, and I will apologize if I'm wrong. I'm not that big of a, to say, well, okay. Think, people. It's a lot more complicated. That's the problem. They're banking on simplistic, just let it brush under the rug. Just sweep it out under the rug. They're going to take all that stuff that you can't see. They're putting it on dump trucks. They're going to put it on barges and probably dump it in the ocean somewhere. Nothing to see here, folks. Now, I want to read you something because somebody sent me something, and it's kind of facetious, but you'll get the point. You'll get the point. This was sent by a Seas level, S-E-A-I-S, Seas level. That's what he calls himself, I guess. Now, let's see. There is now, as of 9/10/23, 10 days ago, of plans to construct a new memorial museum in Maui pertaining to and highlighting the tragedy of Maui. They definitely need to put the animal statues in the museum. The ones that used to be living animals, but after the fire, they were found still intact, but very much dead and stiff like a microwave statue. A couple of the cars would make a cool museum display, like the one on the left with the aluminum stream 10 feet from the vehicle that kind of tells on itself, with a blue car in the middle where only the black parts of the car melted and then the other totally turned to ash. On the right with the aluminum turned to powder, but the serpentine belt and such still like new. I don't know. Again, we saw a lot of cars and 2 cars a couple of shows ago that were in the middle of a field. There was nothing there to burn. There was grass that was 4 inches tall. There was not enough fuel, and those cars melted. And somebody said, well, there's a lot of plastic, and plastic tends to keep burning longer because it's a petroleum product and all that. I hear you, but not melting aluminum and rims and not enough. I really need a fire marshal, somebody years in who have seen it all to talk about fire. But we'll get back to that. I'll be finding these people. Anyway, the ones, the serpentine belt and such, still like new. Just like what was found after the fire. You could also have a display where you show terracotta tiles and porcelain toilets turned to dust with zero explanation as to how an open fire could possibly accomplish that. This is what gets me. Now, I haven't seen pictures of this either. But apparently he has, or has been told. I mean, let's just take it in context. You can't melt ceramic is made from heat. How do you melt a toilet? Have you ever seen a toilet melted in a fire? It's ceramic. So he's got a point there. It's a different kind of fire. You don't just melt ceramic and terracotta tiles. They don't melt. They still stay intact. They may get some black soot on them and things like that, but they still are very much intact. I've never seen that. And he's claiming it's turned to dust. Just stuff to consider. How could they possibly accomplish that? Then you could have a display of a melted car with doors closed, showing how, but not explaining how. An entire family didn't have time to open a door before the car was instantly turned into melted metal, glass, and ash. I just brought that up right before I read this because it was on my head and I didn't want to forget about it. But he's making the point too. How is that possible? People are just sitting in the cars, volunteering to incinerate. You'd run for your life. If you're stuck there, you'd run for your life. And a lot of these cars were on roads right by the water where there's nothing there to burn. Not to mention all the boats that were exploding one at a time, exploding on the water. What do I know? Let's see. Right next to that, you could have a cedar tree flat on one side where it was growing against a house, and pointing out how the house is turned totally to white ash like the inside of a kiln, but the tree that was growing up against the house for years is totally fine to live another 100 years. I don't understand that either. You would think all that heat would damage that tree as well. But then again, if we're talking DEWs, direct energy weapons, it's a different kind of intense heat. It's not like a match with a fire that burns from the outside. You get such a concentrated zap that you just implode. You incinerate. Things incinerate. Look at the Star Wars, shows, all that stuff. It's the basic same theory. We just have it now and using it. That's my opinion. It's turned into a kiln, and pointing out how a house that's turned into white ash. Okay, but no course of explanation on how that's possible. Just a display to boggle the minds of the curious. Next to that, you could have a display of the power company's electrical system and a placard explaining how when wires touch and make a spark, it trips the breaker and shuts the power off completely to that section of wire. Should I go on, or do you get the point? Sincerely, Heath. So I guess the guy's name is Heath. CS Levels. He's saying, okay, all these power companies and all that, and houses and things like that, they have, safety mechanisms, and there's a lot of unanswered things. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Don't just take what they are feeding you, because that's not your family there. So it's not as important. But it could be next. This is worldwide. There's things going on in Spain and Turkey, and it's not just here, folks. The EFW and all, they're doing all kinds of, got their hands on all kinds of nasty games, and they're getting their governments, their self-appointedness that know better and know all to do a lot of bad things to create one big giant economy. And they're trying really hard. And this is how they're doing it. They're breaking everybody down. Don't worry, we're the government. We're here to help. Famous last words. Should I do this now? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I've been saying it every week and I haven't had time. I'm going to take 2 calls, and I'm going to make them quick, I hope. But here's what we're going to do. The first caller, and I don't have a phone screener, so it's first come, first serve. 818-259-7983. I'm going to take the first caller. If you have something valid to say, or you can just tell me I'm full of shit, whatever you want to say. But I will take your call, and then we got to go because time is almost up. But I'll give you, if I don't get a call within 2 minutes, 818-259-7983. 259. I know, I should put the number up earlier so people can get prepared, but I'm already out of time, honestly, and I'll just go over again like I always do. 818-259-7983. I would think there'd be a bunch of people who have something to say. You're saying it on the comments. 818-259-7983. I'm going to give it 1 minute. No phone calls, then we just move on. And I always get the call right before I'm getting ready to say goodnight. Never fails. But I just want everybody to stay alert, stay vigilant, keep talking about these things, and they will get the pressure because they can't operate if they know that we're watching them real hard. They can't. They won't get away with it. Their future plans. We can't stop what happened now, but 818-259-7983 is the number if you have something to add to this story. And I know that the phone will probably have a ton of messages through the week. Going once, 818-259-7983. Going twice, 818-259-7983. For those of you who are newbies, I have the greatest bunch of lurkers. People love to watch, but they go, I really wanted to call you, but I just didn't have the nerve. And I get that. It's okay. 818, last call. 818-259-7983, or I'm taking the number down because I am late. I should have, on some shows, I put the number throughout the whole show, and then eventually you build up the guts to call. But no calls, no problem. Straight to voicemail, really? You gotta be kidding me. 818-259-7983? Let me check that we didn't go into, once in a while they put it on, no, it should have come up. If you did call, I apologize. Try calling again. I see nothing. No. 818-259-7983. I've got nothing. And I checked the phone before we started. 818-259-7983. Oh, I got threatened by Facebook. Facebook has taken off on the original show. A lot of comments on the official Peter G Show page. Here we go. Right there. Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this? Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this? Oh, I think I just hung up on him. Did I? Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this?
This is Mike, Mr. Peter G.
Hello, Mike. What can I do for you? What do you have to add to this story?
Well, I just have to add, I believe everything you're saying. And it's just amazing how we do sit here and take care of every other country. And then when we need the help, it's not there. And, they just want to raise prices, have our budget threatened all the time and increase our rates, interest rates. That's what we get.
No, I get it. But I mean, on top of that, there's a tragedy over there.
It's horrible.
Who knows how many thousands of people have been killed, men, women, children, animals. I mean, that to me is the sickening part of the whole deal. What it takes to make this whole thing happen, what they had to do.
Right. And, it's going to, when the real truth comes out of this, it's just going to be even more. Oh, yeah. We know it's something behind it.
If we'll ever get the real truth. Oh yeah, there's definitely something behind this and everything else that's going on with our country right now and the world. But this is the world. Bad. This is the world we're living in, and unfortunately, a lot of people are just blind. And I get it; everybody's not on the same page. But I just hate when they just, won't even consider the fact, and they think it's just crazy talk. And I'm sorry, I'm not a what do you call it? Fear mongering. I'm not afraid. That's the whole thing. I'm not afraid.
Right. No, I know. And it's the truth. I mean, we watch and it just, there's so many things, not just this situation, but there's just so many of them that just continuously keep happening. Yeah. And it's over and over and over again. And it's like, we're supposed to accept all this.
Yeah. Well,
You know, I mean, it's awful.
Everybody just needs to stay vigilant and not let the talk die down. I just
Right.
that's all I can do. I mean, you know, I got so many things I want to talk about going on with especially our borders, because that's going to eventually be choking us out as well. But this is where we're at. So anyway, all right.
I'm with you.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, stay awake. That's all I can tell you.
Oh yeah,
All
definitely.
right.
Okay,
Thanks
take
for
care.
calling in. Bye.
Bye.
All right. And somebody was trying to call while we were on the line. I'll give it one more. If you tried to call, I'll stay one more little call. Rage Against the Machine. Yes. I don't know. 818-259-7983. I know there's a delay too. It's like but please, if you are calling, if you're listening to the show, make sure you turn the show down when you're on the phone, because it'll be very confusing. That's it. Last call. I want to remind everybody, next week, I am going to be talking about the borders. I'm leaving the phone open just while I close out the show, and I'll take that call in case somebody does want to call. Next week, September 27th, the border, the border, the border. I will be talking about the border. We may mention this still for, keep touching on it, but I will be talking about the border because it is a friggin' mess. And you may not live close to it, but the ones that do know what the hell's going on over there. And it's pretty bad. Last time, 818-259-7983. So Wednesday, September 27th, I will be here. I will be we are going to talk about the border, what's going on over there, as well as maybe a few other things, and I'll try to open up the phones earlier. You can always write, comment, but please support. Subscribe. YouTube, just go to Peter G Show, hit the subscribe button. Let's make a point of it, get the message across. Also, I'm on Rumble, BitChute, TBL Talk, Twitter or X, LinkedIn, Facebook, a lot of different, Instagram, TikTok. You can only get the long form shows on about 7 or 8 different platforms, I think, or 11. 7-Eleven. Very good. Anyway, I appreciate everybody tuning in. My name is Peter G. I want to thank everybody for watching Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show. Tell me what you want to, things that are important to you. I'll talk about them. I will be having guests on in the future, again, about other things. But I'm sticking around because I think we're in really bad times. We're in really bad times, and I'm fortunate enough to be here. So I'm going to talk about it because this, I have a child. I want her to grow up in a semi-decent world, and that ain't going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. I love you guys. I really do. And I appreciate everybody who's taken the time to watch the show and not be bitching about, hurry up, you're too slow. It's just the way it is. Again, check out some of my over 300 shows, so many different topics. You'll see the format's basically the same. And if it doesn't suit your needs, I totally understand. It's a free country. You pick and choose what you want to do. But this is what I do for right now. So that's just it. You know what? I promised I would take the call, and I'm going to take the call. Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this?
Hey, Peter. This is Doug.
Hey, Doug. What can I do for you, buddy?
I'd just like to let everybody know about the FEMA cellular test coming up here on the 4th of October.
All right, we'll try to make this quick. There's a lot of talk about that October 4th, and they're going to send out brain waves, and it's going to affect especially people who are vaccinated. The only thing I'm concerned about, again, this is just my opinion, there's so much talk about it that I don't believe it. I mean, too much. I don't know. There's only one way we're going to find out, and you either keep your phones off or let it ring, and whatever the hell happens. I mean, no matter what, I don't know how are you going to stop it?
Well, there's no way to stop it, I don't think.
Yeah. It might be another test. We've been hearing bad things about, 5G and all this, and getting the shots on, things that are being put into you, nanotechnologies and, things that can make you sick with different frequencies. I truly believe in that. I've been suspended, though, and ousted on platforms for talking about that stuff. So I try to watch myself. But what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that frequencies and vibrations do have a tendency to affect people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's weapons like that now.
Yeah. Well, I think they've had those weapons for years. Decades, actually.
Yeah, look what they said in Cuba. There was a bunch of people there, some years ago, and all of a sudden they all started getting dizzy and headaches and, unexplainable all at the same time. So I don't doubt that that's good. Look, here's the thing. There's so much there's so much going on. I mean, normally I take the last show of the month. Are you new to the show?
Yes, I am. Last 2 weeks ago.
Well, God bless you and thank you. Okay, but for taking the time and the patience to put up with me. But I do take normally I take the last show of the month because I usually have a lot of guests on a lot of different topics. I'll take the last show of the month for current events, and then I touch on this, I touch on that, and we would be talking about all these things. But right now, it's so horrific that I'm just making a month or more out of it, and I'll keep on doing it until I feel that I can take a break. But there's a lot of bad things going on. So where do you begin?
Yeah, well, bad people. There's a lot of bad people out there.
I know, but I am in fear for the people who are just closing their eyes and going, "You're full of crap," and you're just starting trouble. And I'm not doing this to start trouble. I love people. I've always been a people person per se, but you just can't please everybody, and everybody's got their right to their own time of catching up, and some people may never catch up, and that's their journey. What are you going to do?
That's the thing about free choice is everybody's got it.
Yeah, all I'm saying is just like, okay, you disagree with me, but just listen to me at least and have it in the back of your head. That's how it started for me. I wasn't 10 years ago, I would have told you you're crazy too. Or I was just busy, my life was not so bad. But something triggered it a little bit, and I kept it in the back of my head, and then I kept paying attention a little more and more and going, you're right, something doesn't add up, and I didn't even realize it. But that's life. Anyway, where are you calling from, Doug?
Arizona.
Arizona. All right, well, I'm glad you gas is a little cheaper over there.
Well, a little bit, but not nearly what it was 2 years ago or 3.
No, I know. I know. Well, I hope we can, somehow get through this and get back to that. But anything else on your mind? Because I got to get out of here.
No, we'll catch you next week.
Thank you so much for paying attention, and please help spread the word. Okay.
No, we'll do.
All right. God bless you. I'll see you later.
God bless you. Bye.
All right. There you go. All right. Doug from Arizona. All it takes is a couple of phone calls, just to see what's going on and kind of get a gauge of what's going on. I want to thank everybody again for watching Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show. If you don't have time to watch the show, Google Peter G Show podcast. You can listen to the show on the go while you're driving. A lot of people spend a lot of time in their cars or they're at work, and they'll put one earbud in while they're working. A lot of people can multitask. Any way you do it is much appreciated. So thank you. Just do it. Again, last time, please. Next week, I'll be talking about the borders. We got major issues. I may be talking more about Maui if I get something that's pertinent, but there's just so much, and I don't want to leave out the borders because that's an infection that is spreading. And I don't really blame the people so much, but you don't know who the hell's coming through those borders. Never mind the drugs and the sex trafficking and the cartels and possible terrorist people. Mostly men are coming through the border. Kind of scary, and they could affect your town, your state, your family. Who knows? Shit happens. You just don't think it can happen to you. But anyway, my name's Peter G. I thank you for watching. And that's it for this week. Let me know. Please keep sharing through the week, though. Do not, it's not over until next week we start afresh. So keep sharing. And that's it. Thank you. And as always, be kind. Don't take any shit from people, but don't be an ass. Life is short. I love you guys. Peace out.
Peter G Show. Peter G Show. Divorce Dad.